So what's up, guys? Welcome to the new BeachBumLivin shop. Obviously, I have a new setup. I've moved from that little shed that I was temporarily working in, and now I have a much better setup. The shed with no electricity, no running water, it was doable to get projects done, but for what I wanted to accomplish, which was to make videos, it just wasn't working out. A big part of making videos is the lighting, and with it having no electricity, there just wasn't any lights, and to get lights in there, I needed to run the generator, and it was just hard to really, explain a project and talk and record and have the generator running, and it was just a huge hassle, and it honestly wasn't that much fun. So that's why you didn't see that many projects this past year or so, but I promise, that's all changing. But the point of this video is just to kind of give you a little, I guess, tour of my setup. It's very basic. I only have basic tools, but it'll maybe just give you an idea of how I have my things set up, and you can maybe pull some things from it to how you want to set up your workspace. Let's go ahead and let me show you around, and I really appreciate you guys watching. All right, so as you enter my shop, to the left side, it's still very much a garage, and I had to have a place where I put my family type stuff or storage and things like that, and I wanted to keep it all to this side so that when I filmed or worked on things, that would be all facing that way and you wouldn't really see any of this type stuff. But the way I have it set up, I have the bikes over here, I have lawn equipment behind there, and I actually just built this surf rack, and I thought about making a video about it, but it was so simple that it was almost like, whoa, what can I even talk about? But I put that up there and it's working great actually, so I might eventually make a video about how I did that real quick. Plywood rolling storage cart, which serves two purposes. Obviously it holds the plywood really well, but it also serves as a barrier or a type of wall from the stuff behind there. So it kind of separates this stuff from the shop stuff, which really works great. All right, so moving along, over here in this corner, I have two shelves set up, and this is pretty much all art supplies. Lumber rack that I built, and it was really simple also. I did add these 3 4-bulb lights, shop lights in, which is working out great. They were so easy to put in because I didn't have to hardwire these in. They have a plug-in, which there was already a plug with the garage door opener being in here. So I was able to put this initial one in, and then you can daisy chain these together and they all work off that same plug. So it was super easy to put in. It didn't take very long at all. So I'm really pumped on those, and I think it really gives off a good amount of light in here. Harbor Freight workbench. I've had this thing for, I think, over a year now, and it's been working out great. For what I paid for this thing's been pretty cool. So it definitely wasn't as fun as making my own or anything like that, but for being in a hurry just to get something, this thing has been definitely worth the money. So I have pretty much everything situated over here where it's things that I need to grab really quickly or I use a lot. So I have things situated in the drawers that I can just grab easily. Down below I have all of my battery powered tools, which I use quite a bit, and I can easily grab those as well. I've added this 4x5 assembly table, which extends this whole thing to be about 6 feet-ish. So this is working out as well really good. All right, down below the assembly table, I added this power strip, which just makes things really convenient. And I also made this quick little scrap wood bin, which all it was is one of those cheap shelving units, which I just took the shelves out. I actually took them out and put them on the bottom so it would sure up the bottom. And I just threw it on a pallet, put casters on it, and it just makes it really convenient because when I'm doing a project and I have cutoffs, I'll just slide this out and I can just scoop it off over here. And I tend to do a lot of things with my cutoffs, so I really want to save them. I had purposely left it open on the bottom because I already had in mind what I wanted to put under here. And I thought about putting a shelf, but I just figured it would limit the amount of space that I had under here if I did add a shelf. This whole thing is on casters, so I can move it around and change the configuration of everything, which is really convenient. So I'm really liking that. What I have under here is my job site saw and my sander, which is just a convenient place to put it because it's out of the way, and when I need it I can just grab it and put it out here. And the way I have my table saw set up, I could have just brought it out and stuck it on here and used it, but what I found was it's always a pain because it's only like 6 inches behind the blade before the wood just falls off, and it was always a pain to cut and it just falls off. So I looked around and I did find this dude named Paul, and he created this whole mobile workstation and everything like that, which I didn't need any of that. But I did take away from watching one of his videos was how he set up his table saw. He had the same thing, a job site saw, and he inserted these pipes into his workbench, and he was able just to set it on there. So I kind of adapted that idea and formed my own. All right, and the way I have this set up is I inserted these two 1-inch pipes. All I did was just take my drill and a speed bore, and I drilled out these holes. And what I had to do was I had to add some framing underneath to allow there to be enough support. Once these are extended out, I'd have enough pipes still in there supported that when I put the table saw on there, it just wouldn't sag down. So what I do is I extend these out, and I have lines marked on here to where I know the maximum distance I need to extend these out. So I'll put those both on there, come over here, grab the table saw, and for this whole thing to work, I needed to add these support braces, which just took a little bit of trial and error. And some of the things I needed to figure out was to, get enough distance away from here to allow there to be enough room for these to be supported, and to be able to add, a handle so that I could grab it, and then ultimately the brace that supports onto the pipes needed to be the right distance so that this top deck was level with the assembly table. So that just took a little bit of trial and error. Once I got it figured out, it was pretty easy to do. I'll just come over here, grab the saw, bring it over here, line it up with the pipes, and then just drop it down. So now there you go. It's nice and level. It's supported. There's not really any flex or give or anything like that. And the best part about it is now when I go to take a long piece of board and I'm cutting, it just doesn't flop off the back end like it used to. Now I have plenty of room to extend this out and just keep going, and it's nice and smooth and level. So it's super convenient. I'm really digging this setup. And then once I'm done, I'll just come over here, just grab it off the pipe, neatly tuck it back away, push the pipes back in. Now I'm just back to my nice clean assembly table with not any junk around or anything like that. All right, moving to the back right corner of the shop, I have this little desk set up. It was already here, so I didn't make this. I just painted the top white and clear coated just so it had a nice clean surface. I do plan on doing a little bit of work out here. I've already brought my laptop out here on occasion, and it's just a good place to do a little bit of assembly, small things, and I don't know, it just seems kind of cozy over here. Over here is a bunch more storage. I have my bandsaw. I have a couple of those fold out white tables, which I'll usually do, I'll probably take those outside and do some type of spray. If I'm doing some spray painting, I'll put those out there. So I have that there. I don't own that many clamps, so all my clamps are just kind of in this general area. I have a shop light. I have this upper shelf where I put tools that I don't use that often, just kind of out of the way, but they're still convenient enough to where I can grab them down. And this is just a lot more storage where I have shop towels, bins that I have all my screws, nuts, bolts, things like that. This has all blades. This is strictly a painting accessory shelf, so I have all that. I have another bin full of spray paint. I'm keeping my shop vac right here just so I can roll it out and use it when needed. I have this is kind of like a junk storage where I just have extra stuff. I'll put extension cords, things like that in there. And then over here is all my paints. I have it situated where these are all like final finish things where it's clear coats or waxes. All my stains, all color stains are all right there. I have staining gloves conveniently right here. These are all paints. These are regular acrylic paints. Over here some chalk paints, and over here is the gallon paints down at the bottom. All right guys, so I hope you enjoyed that quick little tour of my new shop setup. Like I said, it's very basic. There's nothing that advanced or anything super fancy in here. It's all really basic tools, and the setup is just really basic. But what I do promise is there will be new project videos coming out very soon. So I do appreciate all the support, all the people that have continued to support me this whole time that BeachBumLivin's been around. I really appreciate it. All the new people, I promise, I'm sure you subscribed because you saw some videos that you liked and you're like, hey, this dude must put out other videos, and I haven't lately, so please stick around because there will be new videos. And like I said, thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, I'll see you later.